all these things. I just need, pardon me, I need to put all these things away from my game last night. Didn't finish cleaning up. So we played 5e again. This was my second edition to fifth edition group, and we had a lot of combat. Was it set up that way? Not so much. I didn't necessarily plan for it that way. I actually had multiple encounters planned, but they could have very easily been avoided. So the very first thing that happened is we left off with the players leaving town, going in the direction that two shadowy figures in the middle of the night marched off into. They knew one of them had nubby arms, basically from the elbow down was gone. That's all they knew, and they were walking off into the woods. So with that, they just, after they got that information, they didn't even bother asking any more questions. They just took off into the woods. So that was where we left off after last session. So this session, I had them on the path in that direction, and they came up to a bridge, and they stopped before they got to the bridge. I guess they were worried about trolls, and so they were listening. And so I told them down the river, both directions, they could hear splashing in the water. So they snuck up and saw a bullywug. As that happened, the message was relayed by our wizard using message, which is like a telepathic signal between players, and relayed the information to the fighters. So the fighters decided, all right, we're going up to the bridge and we're going to look both directions and all that. Needless to say, combat started. If the players wanted, I was going to allow them to just continue right on past. Because they fought them, the idea that I had was that, and this was based on my encounters group the other day, if they get beat by these bullywugs, which I fully thought was going to happen, because that's what happened to my encounters group almost, then they would be held captive and presented to the bullywug king. So anyways, they ended up winning. They even beat the reinforcements, which were on giant frogs, and pretty much wiped them clean. While they were in the water, they found 2 potions of vitality, which are in the back of the DM's PDF guide, which you can only get those items there. That's a free PDF on the wizard site. If you need help figuring out where that is, I did a video on it yesterday. Feel free to go look at that to figure out exactly where to get your stuff. But anyways, back to the game. So they destroyed the bullywugs. And it was no problem for them, really. I was surprised at one point that nobody thought, hey, I have lightning spells. They're in water. I could fry them all. I was surprised nobody did that. But hey, that's all right. So then after they beat them, they got back on the path and walked off. They ended up coming across some zombies while they were camping. And I want to say it was 10 zombies, 6 zombies, something like that. So they killed these zombies, which the zombies were tough for them, which was kind of interesting because when I've run zombie encounters before, it was very simple to wipe out the zombies. But the zombies were tough for them. They took a lot of damage. And I mean, yeah. So anyway, so they wiped out the zombies and then proceeded to follow where the zombies came from. As they were doing this, they saw 2 guys pulling a wagon by chain who had spears on their back. And they're pulling the wagon by chain. Had a blanket over the top so they couldn't see what was under it. And a couple of the fighter in chainmail tried to sneak around, which obviously is stealth at disadvantage. And as he saw... as he came around, he made noise, and this dude in chainmail with a maul stopped and stepped off the back of the wagon out that direction, and he saw a couple more guys. Then another guy came up to the front. So there were a total of 6 guys that were there. Through conversation, the players were going to let them pass, and as they were passing, our sorcerer did a quick sleight of hand check to see under the tarp, which is the same thing that happened in encounters the other day, to see a bunch of metal or wooden boxes. But then she let it go. The fighter who was controlling an absent player's character, who was also a fighter, half-orc fighter, with a maul, decided to hit the wheel to try and break the wheel. Didn't hit it solid enough to damage it or anything. And so I had the wagon stop, and the guys attacked immediately, thinking this was a hostile action. So then combat ensued, and we had our wizard drop pretty quick to the leader with 2 swords and chainmail. Our fighter took some damage from the big fighter with chainmail and a maul. Took some crossbow damage from a couple guys. It was a tough battle. In fact, there was a point where I could tell some tension was happening among the players about who should heal and crap like that. So anyways, they ended up winning the battle. And what I had done is I had transplanted all the treasure I was going to use in the bullywug swamp hideout to this wagon. It was kind of an impromptu, hey, I'm throwing this in here to get you guys some treasure. So anyway, so and that was only if, again, they attacked these people. They could have let them go, which would have ultimately given them probably more XP or something. So anyways, they attacked them. Combat went fine. They dropped 6 total guys. Then after that, they decided to continue their path, and they came across more zombies. Actually, they took a rest. Oh, hang on, honey. I'll help you. Come have a seat. You can watch this while I do this, and then I'll help you. So then they came across more zombies while they were sleeping. And so I let them fight 10 zombies, which they managed to take care of pretty easily. So yeah, and that's how we ended the session. Yep. So that's how we ended the session, and that's where we're going to leave off, with them waking up from their rest after the attack that night and everything by zombies. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. We're playing again the weekend of United States Thanksgiving. And here, you want to go around and sit here, and I'll help you. So we'll be playing again the weekend of Thanksgiving, and I fully expect it to be fun again. I messed up some rules, so I learned that you can critical hit with spells in 5e. That was something I didn't know of, and in fact, a couple of my players and encounters, I think, agreed you couldn't do that. And I thought I had read somewhere you couldn't, but obviously the book states otherwise. It's page 194. I found that out thanks to the YouTube RPG Brigade thread about my game, because my wife posted about our discrepancy. So yeah, so that is something I had messed up, but I learned that last night. I'm very glad that I did. Well, actually, I learned it today. Yeah. So then, yeah, I mean, that's really about it. I had fun. There was some tension at the table that was a little uncomfortable, but I think most of us had fun. So I think, okay, I'll help you in a second, honey. I think most of us had fun. I just don't know if everybody had fun. And it wasn't because of the game necessarily. It was because of player and out of character, maybe in character conflict, and taking it too personal. So hopefully we can get that sorted out and fixed in the future. But I don't really know how to do it. I plan on possibly talking to the one player I think has caused the tension, maybe not on purpose. So I plan on talking to him about it maybe today or tomorrow. And everybody also has leveled up to level 3. I threw him a bone and gave him the extra like 30 hit points to level up to level 3. So they'll all be level 3 for our 3rd session, which obviously is when things start to take off and get more focused and specialized. So really looking forward to it. The magic items they got were gloves of swimming and climbing. Oh, thanks, honey. 2 potions of vitality, and a ring of resistance with the jet gem, which is necrotic, and a wand of magic missile, which, if you guys know the rule on that, let me know. I'm pretty sure in 5th edition with a wand of magic missile, anyone can cast it and you don't need to make an arcana check, which is different than 3.5 in Pathfinder. So if somebody can reiterate to me that that is correct, I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much. That's it for my recap. And yeah, I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Oh, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with your friends.